Hello Amazon shoppers. So I'm taking a look at, well, as you can see, a levitating little speaker, and it actually works fine without the base underneath. Just really adds a coolness factor when you add the actual base, but it has a nice little rubber foot on the bottom here, so you can sit this. Sorry, I accidentally touched the play button. So it has a nice rubberized little foot here. Your input for charging looks like your microphone port here, and of course you have your little power button over here. This thing has a pretty good weight to it. It actually sounds pretty good. It doesn't have a huge amount of bass, but it sounds really clear. It gets pretty loud, not extremely loud, but pretty loud, and it is just very cool to look at. The buttons on this are, you don't have to like press them down like really hard. If I just kind of touch, they're very easy to control, touch sensitive. So let's set this down for a moment. So you have this it's actually very heavy weighted bass. I'm sure that's just because of the magnetic aspect for the most part. And these really cool blue lights. On the bottom you have your power switch, and you have a standard barrel connector for power, and you have 4 little rubber feet, so it should protect whatever surface it's placed on. For your speaker, you can actually use this and have it floating and all that while it's charging. Of course, you can't be spinning or anything, but you have your micro USB charging cable included as well. You have some instructions or information here about how to use the actual speaker. It doesn't really talk about the charging time required, but the light, I believe it mentions that. So, I don't know, I was playing around with this thing. I was more interested in playing with it, I guess, to worry too much about the other aspect of it. But it has a 500 milliamp battery, and at medium volume you can play back for around 8 hours. So that's pretty cool. I say it certainly looks cool whether you're using the bass on the bottom, the bottom portion or not. But oh yeah, the red light is on when it's charging, the blue light when it's fully charged. So you will know. But I don't exactly know how long it takes, because I usually don't kill the battery completely dead on any of my devices, or I try not to. And I don't use Bluetooth speakers for extended periods, long periods of time. So there's always that aspect as well, I guess. But I say it just kind of looks cool, and it floats, which is nice. You can hear the actual button, little spring. But the cool thing is the sound. I'll let you hear it real quick. So it actually, like I said, it has pretty good sound. It's fairly loud. It has a really good amount of bass for the size. I mean, it's not gonna be like some of the other speakers that are available that are much larger, but it just looks super cool, I think. It has this sort of a mirrored portion here that reflects this light back, which is really cool. Getting it to sit is the only thing. I mean, it takes a few seconds to get used to it, because it does that, because it has a very powerful magnet. So you want to be able to place it right in the center and kind of get it floating just like that. And then you can kind of fool around with it, and it's not so bad. But if you spin this, it pretty much stays spinning, well, after that it just stays spinning forever, I guess, till it's powered off, because I left it spinning and it just was spinning for quite a long while. And of course you play back your music. And the good thing is, when with the speaker design facing upward as it's spinning, you're not getting that loud, quiet, because it's not facing you, it's facing upward. So the sound remains constant. So I think this thing is just really cool looking, and it's kind of fun to play with. It's hard not to keep fooling around with it, you know. I don't know. I read some of the other reviews. I was just curious what other people's thoughts were on this. And the people were talking about having issues with it. I hope mine continues to work for the long term. I never use it for prolonged periods, so that may become a factor for me. But it definitely has a very strong magnet. It has a light button here. I think you're supposed to long press that. But I'm not sure I noticed any real change in the lighting effects. So I don't know. I don't really care about that too much, just because I think it looks cool just how it is anyway. But I just thought I'd mention that. I'm not sure about the lighting effect aspect, but everything else works really well. Anyway, it's just a really cool speaker, and I said once you get it to sit in the center and float, sometimes that's a little frustrating. It's actually very cool. So I think I got the lighting to work now on the red. I didn't realize I had my hand covering it, but it appears to be like red and green. So yeah, now the button did actually take effect. I had not noticed it before, because my hand was covering over top. So you can well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a frustrating. So there is a pretty cool lighting effects, and it sounds really good overall for the size. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.